The PwC's Entertainment and Media Report has declared Nigeria the top leader in Africa with a remarkable 11.2% growth. That's a growth rate in 2024. Now, the report released on Thursday and titled Africa's E&M Shift, Fast, Focused and Future-Ready Perspective from the Africa Entertainment and Media Outlook 2025 to 2029. It also says that Nigeria is followed by Kenya and South Africa at 7.1% and 6.2% growth rate now. From that report, the compound annual growth rate, that the CAGR through 2029, is projected to be 7.2% for Nigeria, 5.2% for Kenya, and 3.5% for South Africa, indicating sustained momentum across all the three markets. Nigeria remains the fastest growing E&M market in Africa, fueled by rapid expansion in internet advertising, video games, and esports, OTT streaming, and audio content such as music, radio, and of course podcast, mobile internet, and video streaming are also expected to lead growth. Now, fueled by cheaper data plans. Is data cheaper in Nigeria? Well, smartphone penetration. Now, according to the report, South Africa is projected to add 1.4 million new over-the-top as the OTT subscribers by 2029. While Kenya and Nigeria are seeing strong growth. Well, for more on Nigeria's 11.2% lead in entertainment development on the continent of Africa, we're now joined by Asika. He's the DG, National Council for Arts and Culture. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. Good to have you. I mean, how excited are you about this? Does it even come as a surprise, considering the trajectory, I mean, that Nigeria has had in entertainment industry for years now? Let's even crunch the numbers. Entertainment value in Nigeria as of 2023, $9 billion, and is projected to grow to $13.6 billion by 2028.
Oh, I think it's bigger. I think the PwC numbers are saying $25 billion 2025. And you know, for us from the sector, we're trying to get to $100 billion by 2030. And we just completed a significant mapping of the sector for the very first time, supported by Big Win Philanthropy. We mapped 10 sectors. And if you look at the original sort of targets in our KPIs, we're trying to get to add 2 million jobs by 2030 in the sector. But those numbers are showing us that we can actually add maybe up to 3 million jobs. And the thing about it is that I think in times that have been difficult, you know, economically, this sector is leading the way. And it's a good reminder to the economists in the main sector that what we talk about, that when they did the rebasing, they're still misallocating segments of our sector. So under technology and telecoms, you will see things like art and recreation and music and entertainment, where that's obviously core creative industries and cultural industries. And I think that when you look at the way things have evolved, technology is the key sort of scale, right? Digital platforms enable it to scale. But can you imagine a digital platform without our content?
Right.
Then you know it's dead, it's flat, right? If you don't have news content, entertainment content, music content, podcasts, you know, art, all these things, there's nothing on the platform. So the truth of the matter is that this sector animates everybody, animates everything, and I think has also not just the jobs, but the opportunity for economic growth. And that is what the PwC numbers are showing us. That's what we see even from some of the other reports that came out. Spotify paid out 58 billion naira in 2024 to Nigerian artists.
Alone?
Yes, and there are 1.2 million Afrobeats playlists just on Spotify. Now understand that there are 500 DSPs, right? There are 500 DSPs. So our music, we're no longer in the phase of validating our stuff. It's validated.
Great.
Right.
I mean, you don't seem surprised by this because, I mean, you're confident that it's nothing new.
No. It's even small.
Yes.
No, it's not small.
Oh, it's not small. Okay. But let me ask you before we round up, how do we ensure that this creative boom benefits the artists themselves, tying into something you just said now, and not just these global streaming platforms and the platforms themselves. And if you also look at the report, it did say that without scalable infrastructure and clear regulation, growth could stall. So how do we avoid that, and how do we ensure that the artists benefit?
Well, I think first of all, I mean, one of the big things you want to see happening, and I'm speaking directly to the Nigerian tech and innovation ecosystem, we want to see more domestic platforms built, more digital platforms. YouTube is the sort of grand norm of everything. Everybody's content is on YouTube. Everybody's content is on TikTok and Instagram. But that's nothing wrong with that. If you go to 200 countries in the world, the big four are the big four. That's where everybody is. But it doesn't mean that you cannot develop your own platforms, develop your own ecosystem, and develop your own value capture. Because the value chain, the key issue we're trying to do is, I think that Nigerian soft power, as represented through the cultural and creative industries, has already shown everybody that it has value. But the key question is capturing that value, retaining as much as possible domestically. And a combination of policy, investment, in digital and physical infrastructure is what will take us to that place. But the key thing that we are seeing, and I think that everybody has recognized now globally, is the ingenuity, the talent, the original concepts and ideas that Nigerians bring to the table. So Nigerians really need to be celebrated. We need to talk up the fact of the matter that our stuff has penetrated everywhere with very, very little investment. So it's not as if government cannot claim to have invested a lot in this sector. Maybe perhaps we're just about to come to the party. And as we come to the party and create more opportunities, then it's about getting into the sort of the places that you don't normally hear of. Because in Kafanchan, there's talent, right? In Onitsha, there's talent. There's talent everywhere in Nigeria. It's not just Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Kaduna, Ibadan. It's not just the big centers. Cities, You understand? So what we've seen, I mean, and it leads me to the National Festival of Arts and Culture. What I saw last year was that, you know, you're doing the swag show and it's his fashion and style. And I think Nasarawa State won it. And, you know, ordinarily you'd be like,
how?
But let me tell you, they strolled it. And, you know, Adamawa was incredible in the dance. I mean, do you understand? And, you know, I think Plateau with the food and the Jollof Wars. So what you were seeing was that actually everybody's on it. The question is, can you create platforms for them? Can you give them opportunity? And can they get a little bit of marketing and sort of codification? Because in Nigeria, intuition is most of it.
Right. I mean, let's stay with the National Arts Festival.
There's a festival, yes.
One that's coming up.
November 22nd to November 29th. Please come to Enugu. Come to Enugu. 042.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, we got like...
What should we look forward to?
Incredible things are happening. First of all, we've got to thank the governor of Enugu State for being the host. And he's already promised me, we spoke yesterday, that it's going to be the biggest and best ever. And I think that, I mean, they're ready today, which is a great thing. They've got the venues, they've got the people, 33 tertiary institutions. We had a pre-summit in September. There were 30 states plus the FCT in Enugu. They had a great time. And I'm expecting at least 30, if not all 36. And we went yesterday to the National Economic Council to invite all the governors. And we're hoping that they will all come. One of the unique things that's happening is the governor of Katsina, who got to thank, we made a request. There's some things we've never seen. So they're bringing 100 horses to Enugu.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have the Durbar for the very first time in the southeast. Amazing. I think that's going to be incredible because, you know, people don't even know that the Durbar is the same thing as Ofala.
Ofala.
Yeah,
right.
It's the one time when the king comes out to his people and his people salute him.
Or the Ojude-Oba.
Or the Ojude-Oba, exactly.
Yes,
that's why the theme of NAFES is connected culture.
When is it?
November 22nd to November 29th.
Right.
If you're anywhere around Enugu, come through. But we will be live on social media, on TV. And come and see the competition, you know.
I hope this question will not be an anticlimax. How excited are you about the National Arts Theatre that's just been renovated in Lagos?
I was there for the opening. It's incredible. I was there last year.
Things?
Oh no, well, the first thing is that it gives us a world-class venue, right? And that venue, once programmed properly, and my colleague Tola Akerele already had 9 months of programming ready for the venue. So I can tell you that, you know, it's going to be special. I can't wait until I think from November 1st, you're going to begin to see what's coming.
All right. We should have you after the festival in Enugu.
Yeah, so let's talk
and of
about
course, we'll talk about...
We should have you guys there.
Yes, we will be there, definitely. Arise News will be there.
Nice
We'll talk
one.
more about the National Council for Arts and Culture after
No
all of that.
problem at all.
Obi Asika, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Being here.
Thank
the
you.
Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture.